Welcome back to the next session of rehabilitation and retrofitting of structures course. In the last session, we have been learned the corrosion protection technique. In that, one of the corrosion protection technique we have been learned, that is inhibited cement slurry coating. Inhibited cement slurry coating. In continuation with the corrosion protection technique, let us discuss today the second method or a second technique of corrosion protection technique. Number 2 is galvanization. The second corrosion protection technique which I am going to discuss today is galvanization. In galvanization, the main metal or compound which you are going to use is zinc. Zinc is a predominant metal which we are going to use in the galvanization process for the corrosion protection technique. And the zinc will be called as amphoteric metal. And the zinc will be called as amphoteric metal. So amphoteric metal means, the meaning of amphoteric metal means it reacts with, that means the zinc reacts with the strong acid and strong base solution. That is what the meaning of amphoteric metal. Okay, so that is what I can say the boon for the zinc. Okay, so the zinc reacts with a strong acid and also with a strong base solution. With this, the zinc behavior will be there in such a way that, or I can say the zinc pronounced effect will be there in such a way that it will react very fast. It will react very fast, or the product with the react with the zinc will be formed very fast when the pH value will be more than 13, or when the pH value will be lesser than 6. In these pH values, that is more than 13 and lesser than 6, the zinc reaction will be very fast. But the pH value, that is intermediate pH value, if a zinc or pH value lies between 6 to 12, if a pH value lies between 6 to 12, then the zinc reaction is very slow. Reaction is very slow. So this is what I can say the behavior of a zinc. So with this introduction, let us go further. Next is, the zinc reacts with wet cement. Wet cement, that means the mixture of cement and water. The mixture of cement and water, which once reacts with the zinc, then or I can say after the hydration. Obviously the hydration process should happen. After the hydration, whatever the zinc and hydrate, or what I can say the wet cement that has been reacted, that hydrated or hardened cement paste obtained or hydrated product obtained will be hydroxyzincate. So this is the compound that will be formed when the zinc reacts with the wet cement. Is it clear? So zinc reacts with the wet cement. So this is the compound or the product that will be obtained. So what this product will does, so this product or hydroxyl zincate or hydroxyzincate will create a barrier in such a way that it will not allow corrosion to happen. So it will do a corrosion protection. Is it clear? So once the zinc and wet cement get reacted and hardened, this product, the hardened product, that is hydroxyzincate, will create a barrier. So this barrier will try to protect the corrosion. So now a very important thing is, let us see how exactly this galvanization process will be done. First, let me start with the first. Let me take a rusted rebar. let me take a rusted rebar first. Okay, then this rusted rebar will be immersed in derusting solution. Immerse the rebar in derusting solution. Derusting solution. Okay. So what is the derusting solution? The derusting solution, as we have discussed in the first corrosion technique, so that is in cement slurry inhibition technique, the same thing. That is, I am going to use hydrochloric acid, I am going to use a water, I am going to use a inhibitor. That inhibitor will be sodium nitrite. That inhibitor will be sodium nitrite. It will create a passive layer to protect the steel from a corrosion. Is it clear? And this will be immersed for a duration of 15 to 30 minutes. For a duration of 15 to 30 minutes. Okay. Next step is acid neutralization. Acid neutralization by cleaning with water. By cleaning with water. Okay, I am going to clean with water in order to make the acidic medium to the base. In order to make acidic medium to the base, I am going to neutralize the acidic medium with by cleaning with the water. Okay, and this will be done for a duration of 5 minutes. So I am going to do it for 5 minutes. Next step is, after neutralizing by cleaning with water, next immerse that product obtained in flux solution. Immerse in flux solution. What is that flux solution? Okay, that flux solution will be zinc chloride plus ammonium chloride. So it is a mixture of zinc chloride and ammonium chloride solution. So for this particular mix, okay, I am going to immerse the product obtained. Okay, and this will be done again for a duration of 10 minutes. Okay. Next step is, after immersing in flux solution, okay, the obtained product, okay, will be once again immersed in molten zinc. That means a zinc will be heated at a temperature of 450 degrees centigrade. Okay, I am going to create a zinc bath. Okay, that will be a molten form. Okay, that will be at a temperature of 450 degrees centigrade. Okay, immerse that. Okay, whatever the product obtained after the immersing in flux solution. Okay, and this will be done for a duration of, once again, 10 minutes. Is it clear? Okay. Next is quenching in sodium dichromate solution. Quenching in sodium dichromate solution. That means I am going to quench with a chemical called sodium dichromate. Okay, in the next step. Okay, for a duration of 5 minutes. For a duration of 5 minutes. Okay. Next, okay, whatever the product finally will be called as galvanized bar. After this process, after all these steps, okay, which I am going to follow, the final product will be galvanized bar. Okay, and this galvanized bar will be, okay, having a coating of thickness of thickness 100 plus or minus 50 micron meter. Okay, the coating thickness which you are going to provide, that galvanized thickness we are going to provide on that particular rebar, on that particular reinforcement bar, that coating thickness will be 100 plus or minus, okay, 50 micron meter. Okay, and this total duration I am going to do, the entire process will be for 2 hours. So, like this, I am going to do the galvanization process in order to protect the corrosion protection technique. Okay. So, let me repeat. Take the rusted rebar. Okay. Then immerse the rebar in derusting solution. Okay. That is HCl plus water plus inhibitor for a duration of 15 to 30 minutes. Next, neutralize the acid to a base by cleaning with water for a duration of 5 minutes. Then immerse this in flux solution for zinc, that is zinc chloride plus ammonium chloride solution for a duration of 10 minutes. Next, the product obtained will be continued with immersing in molten zinc. That means I am going to immerse the product in the zinc bath, okay, which will be heating at a temperature of 450 degrees centigrade. Next, and this will be done for a duration of 10 minutes. Next, quench this, okay, the product obtained will be quenched using sodium dichromate solution for a duration of 5 minutes. The final obtained product will be galvanized rebar or galvanized bar, which will be having a coating thickness of 100 micron meter. Hence, this galvanized bar is ready to use it in the construction process. Okay, so that I can go ahead with the corrosion protection technique. So like this, okay, we can go ahead with the galvanization. And a very important thing, a lot of research you can do in this particular process, galvanization process. And also many of them are doing the galvanization process more in order to protect the corrosion. That means usage of zinc, okay, is more in to protect the corrosion, okay, in the steel. Okay. So next, we will go ahead with the next corrosion protection technique. We will go ahead with the next corrosion protection technique. The next corrosion protection technique will be cement polymer anti-corrosive coating. Cement polymer anti-corrosive coating. Okay. Cement polymer anti-corrosive coating. So this is the next corrosion protection technique we are going to discuss. Okay. Now, in cement polymer anti-corrosive, you can see it is a combination of 3: cement plus polymer and then anti-corrosive medium. That means I am going to create a anti-corrosive solution using a combination of cement plus polymer, okay, and plus anti-corrosive solution. So using these combination, I am going to prepare a solution in order to provide in order to create a coating for a steel to protect from a corrosion. Is it clear? So let us discuss this. Okay. This will be as I stated, this will be called as a polymer modified. Okay, as I stated, polymer modified. That means I am going to do the modification in the polymer. Okay, cement slurry coating. Okay, this is also called as polymer modified cement slurry coating. Okay, and this particular cement polymer anti-corrosive coating was developed by Anna University, Chennai. So they have been developed this anti-corrosive, okay, or cement polymer anti-corrosive coating, okay, in the one of the laboratory, that is in the strength of materials laboratory, they have been developed this particular anti-corrosive solution in order to protect the steel from a corrosion. Is it clear? And the next is, what exactly this anti-corrosive comprises of? Let us go ahead. Okay, that is what exactly this anti-corrosive coating or solution comprises of. Okay, the very first one is sodium nitride. Sodium nitride. Okay, so you already know what is the meaning of sodium nitride. The sodium nitride will be used as a inhibitor. It will be used as a inhibitor. Okay, and this sodium nitride will be what exactly does is it stabilizes the passive layer. Please note down, this inhibitor, that is sodium nitride inhibitor, stabilizes the passive layer. It will create a passive layer. Okay, what exactly does? That means it will convert, okay, this will convert ferrous oxide. Ferrous oxide means deposition of rust. Okay, that medium will be converted to ferric oxide. Okay, that means this is the passive layer I am going to create on the surface by using sodium nitride. Is it clear? Okay. Next is, so okay, this is first one. Next, second one is sodium hydroxide. Okay, the traces amounts of sodium hydroxide will be used, okay, as an anti-corrosive solution or in the anti-corrosive solution. Okay, and what exactly this particular does is, the sodium hydroxide, what I can say, it will stabilize the alkaline medium inside the concrete. That means it will not create any lesser pH, or it will not create reduction in pH. It will stabilize the concrete medium. It will stabilize the concrete medium to the alkalinity level. Okay, by creating the alkalinity medium, the sodium hydroxide will try to create a passive layer. It will try to create a passive layer to protect from a corrosion. So this is the second thing. Okay. And the next is polymer. Which is the polymer we are going to use? Styrene butadiene polymer. So this is the polymer they have been used, okay, in the anti-corrosive or polymer modified coating, or they have been prepared a anti-corrosive solution. Okay, in the anti-corrosive solution, this is the polymer they have been used, that is styrene butadiene polymer. So what exactly this styrene butadiene polymer does? So this styrene butadiene polymer will impart tensile strength, will impart flexural strength. I will repeat, styrene butadiene polymer, okay, will impart tensile strength and flexural strength. So that's why this styrene butadiene polymer will be used inside the anti-corrosive solution. Okay, and next thing is also what I can say, it will be act like a waterproofing agent. It will act like a waterproofing agent. Okay, it imparts tensile strength, flexural strength, and also it will create a, or will be act like a waterproofing agent. Okay, so this is what the combination of anti-corrosive solution I am going to prepare. Is it clear? So this is what the anti-corrosive solution I am going to prepare in order to protect the, or in order to create a coating of anti-corrosive solution. Is it clear? Okay, and the next is, this anti-corrosive solution will be milky white in color. That means once if I am going to mix sodium nitrate, sodium hydroxide, styrene butadiene polymer, if all these things I am going to mix in order to prepare anti-corrosive solution, okay, so that will be, okay, having a color of milky white. Okay, and next it will be having a pH, okay, milky white in color, and next it will be having a pH of 12.5. Okay, that means it will try to maintain the alkaline medium, that is sodium hydroxide does. Okay, that's what the sodium hydroxide does. It will maintain the alkaline medium. Okay, and the next, the density, okay, of anti-corrosive solution will be 1.03 gram per cc. Okay, density will be almost, I can say, equal to your water. Almost I can say equal to water. Okay, water will be, you already know, it will be almost slightly 1.03 gram per cc will be your density of a anti-corrosive coating or a solution I am going to prepare. Okay, so now this polymer based anti-corrosive coatings or solution is ready. Okay, now how exactly you going to do the process of this cement polymer anti-corrosive coating to the rebar, or how you are going to produce, or how you are going to produce, okay, or how you are going to protect the steel from a corrosion using this technique. Okay, let us go ahead once again step by step. Okay, first, once again, take a rusted rebar. Okay, then after taking a rusted rebar, what we did, we need to remove the rust from a rebar. Okay, so what we have done in this process, okay, I am going to do it by wire brush. Loosen the rust formation by cleaning with wire brush. By cleaning with steel wire brush, that means using that steel wire brush, I am going to rub that, okay, or rub on the surface of a rebar, rusted rebar, to remove that rust, already formed in the rebar. Okay, so that is the first thing. Next, application of first coat. Okay, application of first coat, or I can say single coat of cement slurry. Okay, cement slurry. How? By mixing 600 ml of anti-corrosive solution with 1 kg of dry cement, Okay, that means take 1 kg of dry cement. Okay, sorry, this will be 500 ml. Okay, take 1 kg of dry cement. For that 1 kg of dry cement, add 500 ml of anti-corrosive solution which you have been prepared. Okay, mix it thoroughly and apply that particular coat, okay, on the surface of a rebar, Okay, and this will be air dried, for 8 to 12 hours. Please note down, this will be air dried for 8 to 12 hours. Okay, so this is what the first coat. Next, apply the second coat. Okay, I will write down here. Application of second coat. Of cement slurry. Okay, so in this particular thing, I am going to add 600 ml of anti-corrosive solution which have been prepared with 1 kg of dry cement. That means a slight modification I am going to do. Here I have been added 500 ml. Here I am going to add 600 ml. Okay, anti-corrosive solution to the 1 kg of dry cement. prepare the solution once again, and then, okay, whatever the solution you have been prepared, okay, lay on the surface, okay, of a rebar, or coat, or do the coating, okay, on the surface of a rebar, okay, and this will be, after the coating of this particular rebar, I am going to once again do the air drying for 8 to 12 hours. 8 to 12 hours, once again I am going to do the air drying. Is it clear? And the next step is application of 1 coat of polymer. Okay, polymer coating. Okay, I am going to apply 1 more coat of polymer. Why? Only I am going to apply the styrene butadiene polymer coating. Why? As a seal coat. That means whatever what I can say, voids, all those things, okay, those will be, okay, minimized or reduced by applying a polymer coating on the surface of a rebar, as a sealant coat or as a seal coat. Is it clear? Okay, and this will be also air dried for 2 hours. Air dried for 2 hours. Okay, so after the air dried, okay, 2 hours, whatever the okay, product obtained will be treated rebar, or your rebar will be ready. Okay, so your rebar will be ready, and this coating thickness, okay, after doing all this coating, okay, the coating thickness will be 250 plus or minus 25 micron meter. Okay, 250 plus or minus 25 micron meter will be the coating thickness which I am going to provide on the surface of a rebar. Is it clear? Okay, and the total duration here also I am going to take totally 12 hours. 12 hours I am going to do this process. So like this I am going to do the cement polymer anti-corrosive coating. I will repeat. Take a rusted rebar. Okay. After taking a rusted rebar, remove the rustness in the rebar by rubbing with a steel wire brush. Then whatever the solution, that is anti-corrosive solution we are going to prepare, okay, that is application of okay, first coat or a single coat of cement slurry, that is 500 ml of prepared anti-corrosive solution will be mixed with 1 kg of dry solution, with 1 kg of dry cement will be mixed, and that prepared cement slurry, okay, that means slurry means the cement mixed with this particular solution, so it will form a cement slurry. That is what it is called as cement polymer anti-corrosive coating, or I can say polymer modified cement slurry. Okay, so this particular cement slurry, okay, will be applied on the surface of a rebar, okay, and then air dry will be done for about 8 to 12 hours. Okay, next the second coat of cement slurry will be applied. Okay, that is 600 ml of anti-corrosive solution will be applied with 1 kg of dry cement. Okay, that is the only change. Okay, and this will also be air dried for 8 to 12 hours. Okay, prepare the solution, apply it, and do the air drying for 8 to 12. That is what the process. Prepare the solution, okay, apply it, and then do the drying. Okay, next, last, application of 1 coat of polymer. Okay, why? This polymer coat will be act like a sealant or a seal coating, okay, so that I can minimize the voids. Okay, and last, whatever after does, that means after doing air drying, whatever the final product or whatever after doing all this process, the end product obtained will be your treated rebar, Is it clear? And that particular whatever the coating we have been done will be having a coating thickness of 250 plus or minus 25 micron meter, and the total duration will be 12 hours. So this is the one more method of corrosion protection technique developed by Anna University, Chennai. And this they have been, why? Because more amount of research has been done in Chennai, because that is the coastal part, coastal part of India, which will be having a more prone to the corrosion. So that's why they have been done a lot of research on this corrosion protection, and they have been developed the corrosion protection techniques. So today we have discussed the two methods or techniques of corrosion protection. Like this we have a few more corrosion protection which we are going to discuss in the next class. Thank you.